Hi guys. I am going to show you how to properly wear a mask and how to make it fit you better so that you are wearing it properly and thus it's doing what it's supposed to do. I have a size small mask. The first thing you want to do is try and get a mask that fits your face size. If you don't know if you have a small head or a large head, chances are you're just a normal person, because by now you would know if you have a small or a large head from things like hats not fitting you right, or sunglasses or glasses being like too big on your head or too small. And so you'd know by now what size head you have. So try and find a mask that's a small or a large if you have that size head, or if you're a normal person, then a normal mask will fit you. I have small, medium, and large on my Etsy. I'll have it linked in the description below. On to how to do it. I have elastic on my mask, and as you can see, it's not the ear loop kind. I do not like the ear loops because, as someone with a small head, when I wear ear loops, usually those masks are too big for me. And I actually have a couple here that I'm going to show you how they don't fit correctly on me. Okay, so most masks that you get from like Japan that are fashion or Korea have ear loops. And as you can see, when this is on me, it's too big. I have over an inch of this hanging loosely below my chin. Like, this is a lot of extra fabric. And for it to be fitting correctly, it should be tight under my chin like this. And it should be tight on top. So to that extent, I would need something that would tighten these. Unfortunately, tying them in a knot makes it too tight. An ear loop saver thing would also not work because these are not elastic. Yeah, they are stretchy, but they're not elastic. So I would have to replace these entirely. And that's something to be aware of. This one is one a friend of mine got in Japan for me. It's got a pocket for a replaceable filter, and it's a kid's size. And as you can see, it's too small on me because it's not coming far enough over, and it's not going under my chin. So I am like in between a child and an adult size mask. My smalls fit me and most kids. This works best if you have a channel in any of your masks. So in order for me to fix a mask like this one, I would cut these off, fold this over, and stitch it so I have a channel, basically a tube to run string through or elastic through. So try and get yourself a mask that has channels so that you can make it fit the way it's supposed to. So I'm going to put this on, and then I'm going to show you how you can take a mask such as mine and make it better fit your head. So mine is elastic, and I put one at the top and one around the neck. As you can see, it's tight under my chin. It's on the bridge of my nose where it belongs, and it's tight on the sides. And the thing I see with a lot of people who wear masks, where the problem isn't necessarily that the mask is too big, but it's just not fitted correctly to their face. So one thing you can do is these side things, especially if you're using ties, you just scrunch the fabric on the elastic or the ties and make it smaller. And that'll help give you a tighter fit. It will pull this side down and pull this side up, especially if you have ties instead of elastic on there. This will really help, because once it's tied on your head and it's tied tight, you can scrunch this and the ties won't move. So you want to make sure you scrunch the side fabric if you can. And that's why having a channel is so much more helpful, in my opinion, than having it stitched in. If you do have it stitched in, sometimes you'll get a little pucker, and that's also a problem. You don't want any gaps in your mask. You want it to be tight underneath, tight on the sides, and tight up here. If you're having gapping here, one thing that you can do, this will involve some sewing, but it can be done by hand, is mark with some chalk or a marker even where that is, and kind of feel where it connects with your face and where it doesn't. And you're just basically going to make like a V shape and then pinch those two together, and then hand stitch from like a point here across to the top. And that'll create a little, basically a little pocket on the inside, but it'll lay flatter against your bridge if you're having that issue. So it's really that simple. As far as most of it is scrunching the side fabric to make sure you're getting it tight against your chin and tight against the bridge of your nose. Again, this will really help, especially if someone has a small head, and all you could find are normal size masks. Like I said, you can take something like a mask like this, cut these guys off, fold it over. You can hand stitch it. You could even use fabric glue, but I don't recommend it because that's not going to be able to scrunch really well. And for the frequency that you need to wash these, which is after every wear, it'll break down a lot faster. So hand stitch, if you don't have a machine, right there, make a channel. And you can use something like a shoelace. And if you don't have elastic, and use a safety pin, put it in the shoelace, the string or whatever, and safety pin, put it through the hole, and it's an easier way to get it through the channel. If you don't have a safety pin, you can put like a small knot and on it, and that little knot will help you get it through. If you do have elastic, even if you don't have a way of sewing it closed, what you can do is thread it through like this. So at the top part, you have your 2 strings of elastic. And once you get it on your head, you can take that elastic, pull it tight, and tie the elastic in a bow in the back of your head. And that way you'll be able to get it on nice and tight and have it fit the way you want. Again, things for proper mask wear on the bridge of the nose and under the chin. You want it flat against your face. You don't want it too loose. Putting it on the tip of your nose doesn't help. Putting it under your nose, putting it under your mouth, putting it above your chin, and also constantly taking it off and putting it back on. All of those things are negating the whole point of wearing a mask. And that's also another great reason to have ties and to have elastic like this that goes on the head this way as opposed to around the ears. It prevents you from taking it off. It creates that nice tight seal that you need. And the other thing, even if you are wearing your mask correctly, do not touch your mask. So I hope this was helpful for you guys to figure out how to wear your mask more correctly, how to make the mask that you have fit your face correctly. Again, I have masks small, medium, and large of this shape in my Etsy shop. I have it linked in the bottom of the YouTube description. My masks are 3 layers of cotton, and they have a pocket for a filter. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know if you have any tips and tricks that you have learned that you could add to this, or if you have any questions, and I'll do my best to answer them.